G'day folks, thanks for tuning in to oztooltalk. Today we are reviewing...
When did we say that?
I don't know, since now. This is Mike, I'm Dwayne.
Would you not say that anymore?
You're
an idiot. Move on.
Today we're reviewing the Bosch BITURBO 12-inch mitre. So Mike has lost his somethings.
Yeah, brain.
This is the GCM 18V-305 GDC.
Yeah.
305 being the diameter of this blade in millimeters. It is 4,000 RPM at its max. It is $1,359 as a skin. Ouchie.
Hurts a bit.
But in dollars per kilogram does pretty well. It's 27 kilograms as a skin.
You're a jerk. Forget his stupid numbers. The ones beforehand are quite boring, and that was a ridiculous one. Anyway, this thing's got some serious poke. Serious poke.
It does.
Very impressive glide axial saw, which everybody seems to love.
Yeah, we do too.
Or hate.
Okay.
Oh, look, there's people that go, nah, it's unnecessary weight, etc. I reckon it's cracker. I really like the glide axial.
We reviewed the 10-inch electric axial glide a few years back.
Yep.
That now sits on my bench as my primary workshop saw.
Workshop one, yeah.
I love it. I've got it sitting down in a lower portion, so it's flat with the bench and everything.
Yep.
It's real nice. If you want to know more about the axial glide system, and especially if you want to know about the intricacies of how to operate the front of this saw in regard to the pushing and the levers and everything that actually operate the bevel.
Yep.
The bevel each way on this saw.
Yep.
Because it's quite a good system, but it's kind of different.
Yes. It's a little involved.
I'm going to give you a link to that, so go and have a look at that review, because we don't want to go into that deeply today.
Yep. We'll put you to sleep again.
We want to focus on what's innovative and new about this saw, which is it's a whopping big saw running off a battery.
It's running off, at the moment, 112 amp.
A 12 amp Pro Core battery.
Yeah. Now the interesting part of this, we're all talking multi-volt type, flex volt type, how do we do this?
Yeah.
These guys, Bosch, have somehow got an absolute stonker to be running off, a big 12 amp battery, but an 18 volt platform.
And this thing, like...
It's not dual battery, it's single.
It's a weapon.
Yeah.
It's an absolute weapon. I took this up and built a pergola for my sister.
Yep.
Up in Ballarat. It was a 8 meters by 5 meters, 190 LVLs, doubled up and all.
Yep.
Pretty big pergola. Knocked that up in a couple of days with a bit of help. And I used this for almost the entire cutting of that job.
Yep.
I think I only knocked two bars out of 5 off the battery, or maybe it was 3.
Yep. Off a 12 amp.
Off a 12 amp in those 2 days.
Yep.
And it just didn't even blink. Even I had some double LVLs, which brought it up to like, I don't know, 85 or so.
Yep.
85 or 90 mil by 190s. Just didn't even blink at them. It just loved it.
Yep. It's extremely impressive, and we were actually going, how can, because we had a couple of 8.5 inch saws here before, just playing between them, a couple of good quality units.
Yes.
How can this seemingly go through it like butter? The blades are about the same age, etc. I wondered whether it was part of that 12-inch blade inertia, or there's something about this that you go, this does it effortlessly.
It does. Bosch make nice blades.
Yeah.
This is a 60-tooth blade, which is on the smaller end for a 12-inch. It's probably maybe small to medium.
Yeah, or, 48,
it's
60.
Certainly for carpentry
100,
work. You could put 100 tooth on this for trim work and that sort of thing. But man, it just cuts through like butter.
Yeah.
Whether it be pine or hardwood or LVLs, as we said.
Yeah.
What was that bit of timber we had that you're holding there?
Oh, that's iron bark. Absolutely, it is as hard as hell,
isn't it?
I don't have a density tester. We've been saying for years we need to get a density tester.
Yeah.
We might get a density tester one day in the next 15 years. This is so hard. The piece was so heavy, and it just creamed through it.
Yeah.
And that blade has done your work. It's done your site work that you've done as well.
Yeah.
So it's a tank. I know that Christian from Tech Built, he's on Instagram. He's also on YouTube.
Yep.
He's a massive Bosch fan, and he got this and was stunned. Now, I think he already had the 8.5 inch like I've got.
Yep.
And he was blown away by this as well. He's got really good stuff to say about it. So if you don't trust us, hit him up with some questions and see what he reckons about it.
Yep.
Cracking saw.
Yeah. Now, I think we can both agree the performance and the features of this saw are like top of the range.
Yep.
But it does come at a cost. And that cost is, well, firstly the price.
Yep.
$13.60.
Yep.
It's a fair old wallet.
Yep. For skin.
For a skin. And perhaps even more important than that to me is that 27 kilograms without any battery.
Yeah.
It's the type of weight to me that is fine when it's here, close to my body.
Yep.
But if I try and get this in and out of my trailer, where I've actually got to go over the edge and lean over, I start getting into that territory where my back is screaming at me not to do it.
Yeah, I think anybody who's possibly carrying this, you're going to have it set up at that premium level with a slide and take it straight off, which again, Christian from Tech built a ute to exactly that. So his tools are all slide or at that right level. I think that's smart because 27 kilos, I mean, I'm useless with 27 kilo like this. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Whereas you can, you've got the grunt, sort of brute force, but you've got your tradie trailer and you're not only leaning over, you're leaning over and sort of in.
And getting under the...
you're going to cook yourself out straight away. So it's got to be at ute height or trailer, set yourself up a decent shelf.
Even if it's lower and you have to bend your knees, you can't lean away from it. It's too heavy for that. You have to be able to get close to it.
Yep.
So that for me is the primary... And that's about the same weight as an electric unit.
Yep.
I mean, they haven't just added weights into this for no reason. It's there for a reason, but you need to look after your back if you want this saw.
Yeah.
Invest in having a system that works for you.
Yep. If you don't need this big, Dwayne will go through the dimensions at the moment of what it will cut.
Yeah.
If you don't need that, then drop down to an 8.5.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about whether you're going to halve the weight. I don't think you will.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, but if you go, no, I want this, because this will do trim work. It was about 0.5 mil out, I think we said.
Over the whole depth? Yeah, it came out pretty straight. 400
mil, so it came out pretty well from factory. But you'll be able to do your trim work with this as well. So maybe that's the appeal for some people. They go, I can do my big work and quite comfortably do my small trim work as well.
Also, because of how deep this cut can go, you can get really big, skirts, Victorian era kind of skirts, whatever.
Yep.
Put them up vertically and use the mitre function to cut those.
Yeah. Is that effective versus doing a bevel?
It does the same thing, yeah. It's not the same as a proper, what are they called? Anyway, that thing that I can't remember right now. But, no, it's a very accurate cut.
Yep.
A very good way of doing it. It's much faster than playing with bevel cutting.
Yes. Yep. With this, same as the 8.5-inch Bosch that we did, it's got a good trench-in stop. It's also got your lock at the back. As with all Bosch stuff, anything red, it does something. So any red knobs, switches, levers, that sort of stuff, it does the job. So just remember that. One other thing that you didn't notice because you didn't have to change the blade, you've got an Allen key type bolt that goes in to change your blade. On the side of this, there's your little quick nut, quick key toolless one. Lock it in. I've done it on my 8.5-inch on the bench, and I don't even know where the Allen key is.
And then you just throw the outer flange in the toolbox. You don't need it.
No, that's just your little Allen key. I think you still got to have the flange on the blade, but that's essentially your nut. It's a toolless nut to actually lock in over it.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't even know where the Allen key is now.
There you go.
But it's too easy. I don't change blades 10 times.
Is it okay for you as a lefty? It certainly suited me as a righty.
It was good. I wasn't sure if you can see that on the camera. This is a little lever left or right. So because they've changed the style of the handle, you haven't got a little flick left and right. It's actually underneath here. That's actually really comfortable for a lefty like me. No one ever cares about stuff on left-handers, but someone's thought about it.
Some people really like their vertical handles, and they believe they should always be like that. They don't like the horizontal grip.
Yep.
But at least they've made it so that a lefty can use it easily.
Definitely easy for a lefty. It is a connected tool. You'll notice just here. Use a screwdriver to pop it out. If you want to run the Bosch Connect system in their app, you can pop that into there and connect it up. No dramas.
One thing that we did note was that the dust extraction rubber boot here gets crushed by the guard here at the back of the blade.
Well, it's a black block, isn't it?
Yeah. Now that, I don't know, does that seem like a design flaw, or is that just kind of somewhere between the best that they could do for deep cuts and shallow cuts?
I think the fact that you got two parts. You've got the bottom part of the rubber boot and then the top part. The top part, I think, as it comes down, it crushes it. I do think that's a design flaw.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No, we actually folded it up and it helped a little bit.
Yeah.
I was chatting to, again, Christian Tech Bill on YouTube and Instagram. He said he folded it up. So I think that's a bit of a stuff up on their part.
Yeah.
The other thing, which is not so much a stuff up, but because they say, hey, we can do 10 mil stuff deep or 20 mil, but then we can also do up to 120 mil cut. You got a massive boot at the bottom here. So when you're doing, say, a 90 deep cut, even just 90, try and pull it forward. The boot is quite stiff and it starts to get stuck.
Yeah.
So because they're doing such a broad range of depths, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, you can't cut 400 mil deep and long and then 100 mil deep because that boot's just going to pull your piece all over. So yeah,
correct.
It's not made for that.
So the dust extraction boot isn't great, but I have not met a saw yet. We haven't met a saw where the dust extraction boot is perfect. I think it's one of those things you go, do what we can.
It's a compromise.
Yep, 100%.
A few specs for you. It has dual bevel, 47 degrees in each direction.
Yep.
Mitre 60 degrees to the right and 52 to the left. To cut depth is 120 mil, which you can only do for 200 depth.
Found with that.
Yep, that's right. It can cut up to 400 mil at a 45.
Yep.
That's a very big workpiece.
Yeah.
Not many people are going to be moving a piece around like that to their miter saw.
No.
Put it on a 45 mitre, you can still cut a 240 by 45.
Yeah.
So you won't get your 290, but that's about as big as I've ever seen anyone be able to do.
Yep.
Is a 240. That's a really big cut. Width of the unit is 685 mil.
Yep.
And the depth in this direction is 830.
Yeah. Bosch's numbers on their website were completely stuffed up, so don't look at those. Trust our tape measure because we sat here and measured it.
Correct. Yep. So overall, I'm a big fan of this saw, but I just need to find a solution where I can store it in and out of my ute more easily.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
I like it. I'm quite happy with my Bosch 8.5 inch.
Yep.
I personally don't need anything bigger. But if you're running any sort of thing, running your sheds like this or doing your pergolas regularly, reckon you'd be mad if you didn't have that. Because you also proved earlier, in workshop footage, mind you, that we could do skirts and arcs and stuff as well, the finer stuff. But this for you, to run so efficiently on the bigger stuff, that's awesome.
It's just something about the big blade that just makes it feel nicer.
If there's someone out there with a few more brain cells than me, would love for you to comment and let us know if you've got a theory on that. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Our little 8.5 inch saws can make these large cuts because they slide a long way.
Yeah.
Something about this just feels easier and nicer with the larger blade.
And Bosch do make good blades, as you said before, but they're not the best blades out in the world. There's better blades, so it can't be, this is the most incredible blade in the world. There's something about it. The only thing I didn't check, because you haven't also used it at night, is there an LED? I don't think there's an LED on this. Not the 12 inch.
An illumination one?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it definitely does have a red laser to show you cut lines.
Saw the laser,
which isn't perfect. They never are. None of those.
Never are.
It might be half a mil out or something, but I do appreciate that.
Yep. So other than that, I've got no other things to say. I don't need this saw, but if you're looking for big cuts, but something that can also do the finer stuff, then this is the way to go. The BITURBO stuff is good, and as we often say with Bosch, Bosch has something about the longevity of Bosch.
Yeah, the quality tools.
Bosch is tough gear.
It is made in China. It's not made in Germany anymore, but it is a very quality tool that I would definitely put my money on to last a long time. Yeah.
So in the comments section, if you've got the 8.5 inch that I've got on my bench, or if you've got this, let us know what you think. Or if you've got the power, the 240 volt glide axial, let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any little nuances or anything you absolutely love. We'd like to hear good feedback, as well as, I reckon it sucks and we don't want it.
Agreed. So, thanks for watching, everybody.
Cheers.
Next time. Hey, folks. Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for that. All right. Just let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
You're done.